Good evening to you all, and greet every one of you in the holy name of God Almighty. I humbly express and extend my heartfelt thanks to Swami Hariprasad Ji and everyone in Sri Vishnu Mohan Foundation for this kind invitation to our beloved Mr. Matthew to become part of this August seminar. And I wish all success to the annual Peace and Reconciliation Conference. I'm extremely sure that I am not a competent person to give you a speech when I compare myself with the resource persons who have already spoken and who are going to speak. However, I seek the grace of God and your prayers for the strength to present myself before you. Peace. This is the main term that we are hearing for a long time in this conference. And then today is the first day, and tomorrow and after tomorrow it will go on with the term peace. And we all know that is a freedom from disturbance or absence of hostility or violence from within and from outside, both mentally as well as physically. We are living in a world where attaining peace has become a long cherished dream, and its scope has increased manifold times over the years. Peace forms the crux of all religions in the world, whether Aryan or Semitic, and is considered to be humanity's highest value. Being a Christian bishop, let me brief you about Christianity on this concept. Peace is a central message of Christianity, and the term peace itself appears 99 times in the New Testament. Jesus Christ is often referred to as the Prince of Peace, and is written even in the book of prophecy, even before prophet Isaiah, even before the nativity of Jesus Christ. And he is the Son of God, from whom all peace is derived. He himself said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you." The traditions of the Holy Bible and the teaching of the church fathers, they teach that peace is divinely ordained condition for human existence, that every form of conflict and strife is a manifestation of sin. War, as the antithesis of peace, therefore belongs to the realm of human sin. Warfare, as an activity, belongs to the realm of fallen human existence and can in no way embody the justice, righteousness, and indeed peace that are the very essence of the reconciliation of God and humanity. Let me come to the theme. Right education is the key to peace. Of course, Swamiji's were speaking before me were well saying about this particular topic, and I am not sure whether I can tell anything more than that. Nelson Mandela once said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. In this regard, I would also like to say that one of the most significant announcements made in the E9 summit of 1993 in New Delhi was, education is the only defense against war. Education imparts values, skills, and knowledge that promotes the growth of any country, any community. We celebrate International Peace Day on the 21st of September to remind people all throughout the world that we are not enemies. It encourages people to work together to create a more acceptable and peaceful society. This day also honors people who have fought tirelessly to end wars and promote peace. We know very well that without education, we wouldn't have even understood the meaning of the term peace. Peace has taught us a lot about education and vice versa. The world has witnessed significant developments in different fields. And on the other hand, we have also seen the loss of precious lives due to wars, illness, poverty, and so on. Nowadays, violent conflicts pose the greatest development challenges in the world. Children and education systems are often on the front line of these violent conflicts. The rise in violent extremism and radicalization represents a significant threat to all of us. Members of radical groups adopt increasingly extreme political, economic, social, cultural, and religious ideologies and use undemocratic and violent means to achieve their objectives. Young children are now exposed to a world where war and conflict are everyday occurrences. The need for greater understanding about how to address these challenges is crucial in order to establish peaceful solutions. There are numerous instances which proves this, and I feel the right type of education acts as a peace developing agent. The need of the hour is a shift from content-based education to the competency-based or activity-based interactive education. The curriculum and education services should be designed in such a way that they are culturally and economically relevant to the local context, with a special focus on minorities, nomadic and other communities, alternative education, opportunities for marginalized adolescents and youth. There should be adequate investment in education meeting the requirements of the present day. The challenge lies in understanding an individual's ability or potential and developing it to the optimum level. I personally feel this is where peace education assumes importance. Peace education is grounded on the thought that people can be taught to resolve conflicts without resorting to violence. It also includes strategies for resolving conflicts at various levels, ranging from individuals to social groups and even global conflicts. Education plays a central role in promoting relations and reconciliations in society with a history of ethno conflict, have been acknowledged frequently in the academic literature and increasingly in national and international policies. The concept of education for peace evolves from the Charter of the United Nations that was signed on June 26, 1945 in San Francisco to prevent any global conflicts further. It reaffirms faith in the fundamental human rights, leading us to practice tolerance and live together in peace with one another as good neighbors. I hope and pray that this conference ends on a note wherein we would be able to take many inputs for the development of a peaceful world, wherein, as the Holy Bible says in Psalms 133:1, how good it is for brethren to live in unity. I would like to conclude my words by quoting a phrase of Mahatma Gandhi, who said, if we are to reach real peace in the world, we will have to begin with children. Thank you so much. Pray for you too all. Thank you very much for inviting me. Seek God to bless us all, and Jai Hind.